What's up, Ocean? You got Matt here, and welcome to another draft analysis for the Pokemon All-Stars competition, the Pack. We are back, and I am super thrilled to be in this league once again. We have always performed well while being in Pack, but we have never actually taken home the title, unfortunately. But hoping that is about to change. We had the 11th pick in the draft. We had a budget of 110 points. There are 3 free Terra Captains as long as they have a certain point total being 28 or lower. We are golden. The only issue is, and I love Pack, great league, the tier list is never really perfect, and that's fine. That's just the reality of the situation. You got to learn and adapt and go as well you go. So hopefully we can go ahead and build a good team. If you guys are excited for the video, then make sure to leave a like on the video and of course subscribe to the channel. We just passed 3,700 subscribers, so thank you guys so very much. But let's go ahead and jump on into it. Starting off our first mon, again, like I said, 11th pick in the draft. I really want to get something good, but all the good like Paradox Pokemon and the good like Chien-Pao, Chi-Yu, they're all gone. So we went with the next best thing, Annihilape. Yeah, this thing is crazy. I really want to get a chance to use this Pokemon, and I feel like now is a good time. It was 20 points, so, you know, just over 20% of our budget is kind of crazy, but at the end of the day, it's kind of worth it. It's a fantastic Pokemon with an amazing typing, a great speed tier, an amazing move in something like Rage Fist. So many good options. Really, really respect what Annihilape can do, and it allows us to build a strong core of U-turn momentum going forward, which is the best way I play, but also a way to just be bulky and still hit really hard, which is a fantastic option on this Pokemon here. We also, our next pick, somehow, someway, Iron Treads came back to us. I have no idea how. It is one of the best fairy killers in the game for Annihilape, which is like the only thing that can really handle this Pokemon. On top of that, it is an amazing Rapid Spinner. I don't really need to worry about removal too often anymore. It's a great hazard setter. It gets momentum in Volt Switch, has a ton of decent coverage options. I like this Pokemon a lot, and it's also really fast. It's like 106 or 104 base speed, something like that, which is, again, amazing. Really, really good combination here. And it's only 18 points, which is, again, solid. It gets the job done. Even more of a surprise, to me at least, Hydra was still around. Hydreigon was still around. I didn't want to take it. I didn't, but I did. We got Hydreigon, 18 points. It's a lot of our budget. So far, we've used 20, 18, and 18. It's what, 56 points? It's a lot of points, but I do think it's worthwhile. This Pokemon is going to be, it's weak to Fairy, but we have Iron Treads to help with that. It is immune to Ground, which is nice for the Iron Treads, and while it and Iron Treads are weak to Fighting, Annihilape kind of covers that, which is, again, amazing. It also offers momentum, it offers rocks, it has potential for terastallizing as well, it has a really good coverage options. It's a really solid Pokemon to have access to. The only issue is we have to pick up 9 Pokemon, and some of the really low tier stuff like the 3s, the 2s, the 1s are all dog shit. They're all terrible, so we gotta be very careful with how we're gonna do that. For our next pick, I really want to pick up a Fairy here, but the issue is the Fairy types we're starting to go, and because we're one division and we're like 16 coaches, there's not enough Fairies to go around. So I decided to say, you know what? I'm not really going to focus on getting a Fairy. I'm going to get Pokemon that are bulky enough that I can terastallize into Fairy types. And one of those Pokemon is a Pokemon that I have historically despised. And we're going to see if it can prove me wrong. That's going to be Talonflame. Yeah, one of Talonflame's biggest haters is picking up Talonflame. This thing is decently bulky. It's pretty fast, which is nice. Has removal, has U-turn. Flame Body is pretty cool, has decent coverage, and the fact that it can terastallize as well, so it doesn't really need the boots, is really, really good. So I'm pretty happy about picking up Talonflame here. Our next mon though, and by the way, 11 points, it's pretty expensive for Talonflame. I was expecting Talonflame to be like 9, maybe 8, but hey, 11 is pretty pricey. Next up though, I need to have hazards. I don't want to just rely on Stealth Rocks from Treads and from Hydreigon. I also want to have ways to kind of punish opposing teams and have a decent Fairy switch in as well, a backup Fairy switch in, and that's going to be Qwilfish. Now you're going to notice a problem here. Two of my 3 resists to Fairy are weak to Ground. So Treads and Qwilfish, bit of a problem. The good news is they're both physically defensive monsters with Intimidate or just the stats in Iron Treads. We also have Talonflame as a check to both those, immunity to Ground and a resist to Fairy, which is really nice. But Qwilfish offers me Intimidate, it offers me Spikes and T-Spikes, it offers me Thunder Wave and Taunt, a decent speed tier, 85, decent offense, priority, and Aqua Jet. It can do a good amount of things. I think Qwilfish is just a solid Pokemon overall, but definitely not worth a 5th round selection. But I picked it up here because I'm running low on points. And there's not a lot of higher Pokemon that I want to pick up, so we kind of have to go a bit more of a balanced approach this time around. Our 6th pick ends up being Raichu for 5 points. That was a fantastic Pokemon to potentially terastallize. I have Pikachu in the PBA as a Terra Captain. Raichu could be even better. Lightning Rod is a great ability to have as an electric immunity. The fact that it has great speed, knockoff, great coverage, nasty plot, it just can do so much for a team. And I do believe that is one of the best options to pick up for a good electric immunity outside of Iron Treads, because it is able to support the Talonflame and the Quillfish as well, which I do like a lot. And the speed tier is always going to be very valuable. It kind of fixes the speed tier between the Talonflame and the Iron Treads, which kind of is then fixed by the Hydra and the Annihilape. And then the Quillfish is all really, really good. Our fastest Pokemon are our first, sick Pokemon, which is amazing. Next up, number 7. This is where I got invited to another league, and I was focusing on that a lot, and I kind of forgot that I picked up a Ghost type already, so I picked up another one. I got a second Ghost type. That's going to be Poltegeist. Now, while I do think that getting 2 Ghosts is not a bad thing, especially because Pursuit is gone, the Dark types are kind of limited, this Pokemon is a little suspicious. But it can do a lot of work, especially because it is one of our Terra Captains. So this Pokemon, which has really bad coverage to hit the Dark types, or Dark types, or normal types, we now have ways to break through those, which is fantastic. So really happy to have access to a Poltegeist with Shell Smash. It can be really, really terrifying, especially because if my opponent is going to be running a Ghost type to handle the Fighting type moves of the Annihilape, or a normal type to handle the Ghost type moves of Annihilape, I can break through with that and then sweep in the back with Poltegeist. It could be a really, really nice combination. We still want to have a way to handle our own weakness to Ghost, because my Dark type being Hydreigon being 4 times weak to Fairy is not the best, so we want to have a secondary answer, and that is a pretty good one here in Dunsparce. I'm kind of excited to use this Pokemon, I'm not going to lie. It's slow as dirt, but it can definitely get the job done. Glare, Rocks, I know the Calm Mind Hyper Voice or something is the really big sets, or Calm Mind Boomers or something whatever that set is really good in VGC for the limited amount of traction it's getting, but it's still something. So I want to think about using it. It's a decent bulky normal. I'll take it. Why not? It's a good Pokemon overall. 10 points, pretty pricey, but it's fine. Our next pick, funny story, picked this Pokemon and then I forgot that I drafted it. Yeah, so that happened, but it is what it is. Our 9th pick is going to be Veluza for 6 points. And at this point left, we have 4 points. That's it. Veluza is a offensive water type that's also a decent sweeper with Feel It Away. I can't really imagine myself running that very often, but Sharpness on Veluza could be very scary. So I feel like it could have a lot of utility going forward with Aqua Cutter and stuff, and Psycho Cut and Night Slash, of course. I used it in my first playthrough of Scarlet and Violet, and it was pretty fun to use. It just seems a bit underwhelming. That's why I guess it's worth 6 points. It's also decently slow. So base 70, 65, 70. So I want to make sure that I'm having a way with to be an offensive water and an offensive psychic. There just weren't many psychic types available, and the fact that this is a water that is not weak to ground rather is a good thing in my mind. On top of that, our final pick. Originally I was going to go with Frosmoth, but we decided against it because it was 5 points. We only had 4 left, so we couldn't do it. But we went with Morgrem instead. Now, Morgrem is 3 points. I have 1 point left. I'm not going to use that point. The reason why I went with Morgrem here is because I need to have a way to be able to set up screens. Morgrem can do that. I wanted a Fairy just in case, so I didn't have to run Fairy Talonflame or Fairy Poltegeist or Fairy Veluza, which are my 3 Terra Captains. So I want to have just a random backup, and it's a decent low tier Fairy. Kind of gets the job done. It's Parting Shot now, which is cool. So yeah, that's our team. Let me know which Pokemon you were most excited to see us use. Of course, guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well. Leave a like on the video. We're aiming for 30 likes on today's content. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed, again, like, comment, subscribe to all that great stuff, and I'll see you throughout the season for Pack. Make sure to check out all the coaches down in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.